Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. Sorry, my hair. And today we're gonna be talking about. This out my way. We're gonna be talking about the Trackhouse racing. Sorry, I have so many things in my notes right now about videos I'm gonna do today. Just all today. Like this is gonna be a mess for one day. So sorry if you see this for multiple weeks in a row, maybe months in a row. I'm recording mass stuff today. Gonna release it over maybe once every week for a month, and I'll figure it out. But basically, like, first of all, if you guys have anything that you want me to do, please put in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me on my social medias, which will be linked in the description through my website. You can find every social media and my Discords. Feel free to join the Discords too. But feel free to give me feedback, give me information that you guys want me to cover, give me stuff that you want me to do in videos. Give me content ideas. If you want me to do something, I'll give you a shout out in the video as well. Thanks for giving me an idea here. But it's just kind of, so it's not distracting to anybody, but by anybody I mean me. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Trackhouse Racing. If you don't know what Trackhouse Racing is, it's a brand new team in the NASCAR Cup Series this year. It feels the number 99 car. That was driven by Carl Edwards many years back and has made a return. This time the driver is Daniel Suarez. This time the crew chief, I have no idea what his name is, but I believe that him and Suarez mesh really, really freaking well. Justin Marks and Pitbull have entered into a thing together to be business partners and field this team, and right now they are really competitive. They're running really well. Just at Nashville, they are inside the top 10 just in stage 1, and basically that 99 car has been really surprising. They also have an alliance with RCR, I think. So RCR will have 2 alliances. It'll be Colleague, who has 2 charters, and Trackhouse, which has 0. And I'd love to see Trackhouse get a charter. I want them. They said that they're going to run full time whether or not they have a charter. And basically, yeah, I'd like to see them get a charter, especially when there's teams that aren't competitive, like Wick Rare Racing that has 4 of them. I'd like to see them sell off one of their charters. And I know that they're going really high right now. And I'll talk about that a little bit later with field sizes and stuff in a later video. So please feel free to be looking out for that because it will be coming. And feel free to also look at the other content I have on my channel. It's mainly NASCAR, NFL, MLB, and NHL. Maybe some stuff that I feel really strongly about is mixed in there too. But it's mainly a sports channel here. I also have a gaming channel that if you want to see it, go for it. But yeah, Trackhouse is in a difficult situation because they're losing their charter right now. They do have a charter technically, but that's basically been sold because they're releasing it from Spire. And Spire sold off that charter. 2 charters, one of which I'm pretty sure it's theirs, to Colleague, which means that Trackhouse is in a difficult situation now. They have said that they do want to expand, and I'd love to see them expand. I'd love to see more charters, but I just can't see it happening right now. I just can't see them being able to get a charter, especially when they're going for $10 million each. That's the rough amount. And, supply and demand kind of puts it up, and teams are valuing it maybe a little bit more than they should, but, supply and demand does that to people. But yeah, there's a lot of new teams going to be in, this year, next year too. So they definitely do want to have a charter so that they have the best chance of running the full season without really any competition to get into races. So yeah, NASCAR has a definite problem on their hands that they agree with the charters. And it's kind of screwing them over right now. Especially when teams like Wick Rare Racing are kind of hogging it, and then there's competitive teams that don't have one, that want one, and the price is just too high to give, up one for, well, not give up one, to, get one. They, basically, let's get back to tournaments. I do this a lot, I'm really sorry. But yeah, Trackhouse, I really wanted to see them succeed. I love that Suarez has kind of had a career resurgence here. I love that Suarez has kind of just been doing his thing and being successful in a Chevy team now. He was with the 96 Brothers Racing, so he was with 2 Toyota teams because he was with Jobios first, and then he went to Stewart Haas, which is Ford's, and then he went to Gaunt Brothers, and now he's in Chevy, so he has run the full gauntlet to this point of teams. So Trackhouse, there's not really much on them. They're finishing really good in races. They're kind of getting a good little reputation for clean driving, for having decent equipment, and I was really surprised by them. I thought 2311 was going to be the better of the teams, but Daniel Suarez and that crew chief in that car just meshing really well together. And you love to see it, but you also hate to see it, because basically they don't have a charter, so they could be out of the competition next season at any point, even though they're really competitive. And it kind of just pisses me off a little bit, as you saw in last week's video, that Rickware has 4 charters, and they're not giving any of them up, even though they run 3 full-time cars. So they can afford to sell a charter to, like, Trackhouse. And there's just a lot of expansion going on with teams here. There's a lot of new teams. So they're gonna need that charter so that they can make every race, so that they can have a free-in thing. NASCAR's made their own bed with charters, and now the teams are kind of like suffering because everybody wants one. They did that to kind of like ensure that field sizes were like at 36 cars, ensure it. And now that they're going into just a new car and that there's so many more teams, I guess NASCAR is kind of happy, but it's screwing over a lot of teams here. Like, screwed over Gaunt Brothers, which I thought deserved to make the field in the 500. And it's just overall a problem for a lot of teams here. And I feel like just Trackhouse isn't getting a fair shot here with no charter. They're competitive, and I love it. They're competitive. They have so many new sponsors. But if they want to expand, they need to do a little bit better. And, like, I'd love to see them win a race. They're not capable of winning a race right now, though. So, I mean, I wouldn't say never this year, but maybe they can steal it at a super speedway. But right now, I think it's just stacking pennies, as LaJoy would say, to get a good car, put it out there, make some money, and just slowly build up the reputation for the team, and slowly build up the bank account, and slowly become more competitive. I think that's the key to success for this team. I think that starting slow, starting low, not trying to expand too soon, just basically making a lot of stuff just sit there, making sure that they have good equipment, making sure that they're taking care of the equipment, making sure that they're just getting the best overall finish that they can get in a race, and not tearing up the equipment is a big part of that. Because if they're out, you have to have whole new equipment. And like I said before in the video, they do have a alliance with RCR. RCR though isn't what it was. It's far from that 4-5 car team of that 31 of Newman, of the 26 of the 07. I think was Kurt Busch. I think he had the 07. And I think that was part of it. Maybe it was Boyer. I can't remember. Maybe 90s. I think it was 97. Yeah, so the 97 of Busch. The fucking, just whole 5-car team of people. It's far from those days. They aren't what they once were. But they do still have decent equipment. They still do have decent finishes. They have some good drivers, too. They have Dylan and... Austin Dillon, I mean, and, what's his name? Reddick. So, like, they're doing pretty good for themselves, if I do say so myself. And they had a decent pipeline, too, last season. They had Schneider, who has the car this year. They have Alfredo, who moved on to the Cup Series because he got screwed out of a ride. I feel like RCR should have given to Alfredo 100%. Then there's Hemmerich, who went through the pipeline. There was... both Dillons went through their pipeline. So they have a history of having a good pipeline, too. And they have a history of having really good drivers, too. And especially when it's a 2-car team, that kind of screws guys out. So I don't blame anybody for leaving. But at the same time, what are you going to do? There's only a certain number of people that can race in the Cup Series right now. And if RCR doesn't have the funds to run all 4 cars, and they don't have all 4 charters, then what are you going to do? But the Chevy pipeline is really stacked. The Ford pipeline is fairly stacked. They have Haley Deegan in there. who I think could be something if she just takes her time and develops. They don't have Decker. I think they used to, but they don't have it. I think she's Toyota still. But yeah, it's overall just Trackhouse has a lot to go before they can become a HMS or a RCR level team. Especially HMS, like all four of the drivers are hitting on all cylinders right now. And I just feel like they're not going to get anywhere right now if they don't just take it slow and don't expand right away. Like, maybe run 2 or 3 years in the Cup Series. Maybe a 4th year if you want to go 3 years with the new car. And, you know, maybe even they start like a Xfinity Series team and get some guys in the pipeline. Maybe start and kind of expand a little bit there. Maybe they start like a Truck Series program too. And there's a lot of options, but I do think that this team has a lot of potential. I do think that this team, with Trackhouse and Pitbull and Justin Marks, has a potential to be a dominant organization one day. If they play their cards right, they can be on the same level as Hendricks. They can be the same level as Joe Gibbs. They can be competing for wins with 4 cars every single day that they're out down the track. They can be competitive. Like, they're competitive right now, right out of the gate. And I think that if they just take it slow, maybe create an Xfinity program to kind of get some drivers in the pipeline, and they just overall do a little bit better with just being patient, I think that they could be something. I think that they have a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see where this team goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.